What's up, everybody? Welcome to YOOHOO with Tom Zappia. Today's episode featuring friend and comedian Jared Schwartz of New York City. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for the full episodes, and thank you for watching.
YOOHOO! You're like a buzz. It's weird.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to YOOHOO. I'm Tom Zappia, your host today. I am joined by my friend Jared Schwartz, New York City comedian and Jewish fellow from Staten Island. And there's not too many of them out there. So, Jared, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Tom. I'm excited to be here. YOOHOO, man. Let's fucking talk about it.
I enjoy pitching the show to people because I basically, if you guys have watched the first two episodes, there's somewhat of a theme to it. You're supposed to be pitching me on conspiracy adjacent and or unsolved stuff, anything like, you know, anything weird that you are skeptical of, because obviously now I feel like conspiracy theories don't even exist anymore because everything's just out there.
Well, everything's true now, right?
Yeah, everything's just true. Like once the government confirmed to us that they were aliens, and then the Epstein and stuff happened.
The one in Mexico, right?
Yeah, we're just like, all right, everything. There's never a conspiracy. It's out there. It's all true. So now it just leaves it up to the unsolved stuff or the stuff that's not exactly fully proven.
Well, we got to start ripping skin off and find the aliens, right? Isn't that what we have to do?
Well, if that's what you want to do, then
isn't that like that's one of those things?
I guess
that people are like cloaking themselves.
Dude, what's going on with Diddy? Anybody could be doing anything at this point, especially if that audio video is real.
What audio video?
You hear that audio of like Diddy having, giving it to. It's supposed to be Diddy giving it to Meek Mill.
Oh,
sexual.
I don't think I heard that one.
No, but it could. It got hyped up.
The latest video I saw.
Could be anything.
The latest video I saw was him and Justin Bieber, I think, in Miami or somewhere.
Oh, when Bieber was like brand new, like
no, not that one. That's the old one. I mean, that one's wild too. You know, he offers to take everyone shopping, which is crazy. Like 50 Cent came out, he's like, "Motherfucker, want to take me shopping? What a homo."
50 Cent's like the truther
like,
for a lot of people.
What?
50 Cent's like a truther for a lot of people. They go to him to see his reaction.
Yeah,
and I never know if he's like joking or being serious.
He keeps it real. I mean, he's from New York, bro. But what I was saying, no, there was this video of Diddy and shows him like touching Justin on like the chest and everything, and the tweet was like, is Diddy checking Justin for wires?
There we go.
I don't know how old this video is. I don't know how new this video is. Like, it seems like that could be a case.
It seems very possible.
He's in deep water. You know what I mean? These parties, like there was a video of like him and LeBron. Again, don't know how old it is, but it's like in the caption was like, this is Diddy trying to get LeBron to come upstairs, and LeBron was just like rapping to music, and like Diddy was just like waving over and like, all right, you're insinuating a lot here.
Right. They were also saying Leo is a big visitor at the parties. And we know how he is with younger women, DiCaprio, yes.
I heard he loves to have sex with headphones on.
Wait, what?
And socks, yeah.
So he doesn't have to hear anything?
Yeah, I heard the girl's just like, fuck him. He just leaves his socks on and headphones on.
Really?
Some crazy shit I heard. That's a conspiracy, huh? I think it's like some.
Possible.
I heard it through the grapevine of like another girl.
I mean, when you're that famous, you gotta be doing something weird to be able to enjoy it after that point. He's probably
like
banging his 50th girl that week.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's like, at what point do you stop, and like at what point do you get enjoyment out of these experiences anymore? It's like that's why the whole thing is like, that's why I don't find it that hard to believe that these rich sick fucks who've experienced the most out of life already go to do the most outlandish thing.
Yeah.
The whole adrenochrome thing.
Hey, if I was the most famous guy in the world by the time I was 30, I mean, who knows what I'd be doing? I'd be dead or in jail probably.
You get curious.
Yeah, dude. Leo's been famous since he's like 11.
You get real curious, and stuff, man, like, about what you can get away with, about what you can do.
Well, that's the thing. What you can get away with. Look at Diddy. The guy's 55. So say he gets capped the next year and he's in prison. He got away for he's probably been famous for 30 years. So like you think about like you think because your level of fame and security, and you got 5 mansions, you got private jets, you could pretty much do whatever you want in your head.
Whatever you want, the world is yours, bro.
That's the thing. But they saying
you have possibility to like almost everything.
Yeah,
money is power, bro. I mean, they're saying Hove is next, and not my Sagittarius king, but the headlines are not looking good.
Yeah, and he was in I think he was involved in some of the court documents mentioned or whatever. But I mean, Diddy's a famous New York music staple. Any famous rapper that came out of New York is going to be associated with him.
Staple. He's a famous like culture icon. He's a
but
cultural icon.
But Bad
bro.
Boy Records is in his production side. It's not like he's a better rapper than a fucking producer.
No, not
it's like
at all.
Kanye.
I'm
Kanye's a better producer.
All right.
I
Kanye
mean-
is just an overall artist.
Well, I mean, I'm not a fan.
What's selling
after
more?
what he's
What's
done,
selling more, Sean John or Yeezy?
after what he said about your people, I'm not a fan. Sean John up
Kanye?
until about 2006.
Kanye, formerly known as Kanye, or
Oh,
is
it's
that who you're
Yee
talking
now, right?
about?
Yeah.
The thing is like, yeah, the shit he said DEFCON 3 on the Jew, like that shit is crazy. That shit, like, it's really hard separating the art from the artist. You know what I mean? But like, you can't deny the guy being an amazing artist.
Oh,
It's
sure.
just like Hitler. You can't deny the guy for being persuasive.
Yes, I would go with
He
persuasive. for sure.
persuaded a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's like you can't deny that fact.
That's true. But I mean,
But-
hey,
With Kanye, the thing is, he went on those rants on the Life of Pablo tour. I think the Life of Pablo, or the Yeezus tour. The Yeezus tour, bro.
that was way back. Yeezus
Way
is like
back.
2013.
And he was doing these rants, bro. Like, him and Jay went through falling out. He's like, call me, Jay. He's like, I know you got killers. Kanye knows something, bro. Like, you've seen videos of him, like, they're out there, like, of him saying, like, I sacrificed my mom.
Yeah, but
Like-
he also has had a lot of mental history.
Come on, bro. We all have mental fucking-
Disability history.
Bro.
No, but he'd been on meds and stuff, and like off meds, and then on meds, and then he says some crazy
I think
stuff.
he's seen some shit, bro.
I'm sure he has. When you get
What
that
about
famous,
this guy, Ryan Garcia?
who's that?
You don't know about Ryan Garcia, the fighter?
No, hit me up with this though.
You don't know about this?
No.
It was all over Twitter, bro. He was in with Tate. They were on like one of those like what is it when you talk on Twitter? I don't know what they're called.
Twitter Live
Not Twitter. No, it's not the
stream.
No, it's like the chats. I don't know what it is. Like everybody's in like a bubble and like there's only a few certain speakers. I don't know the name of the program, but
That was like that thing that was big during COVID.
it was one of those. Yeah, but-
Clubhouse or whatever.
Clubhouse. Yeah, it was like one of the whatever. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very similar to that. Twitter has their own Clubhouse
Yeah.
type of vibe. And Ryan Garcia was just like, yo, like they brought me to like those not camps, like the fire, what are those like places in the woods that all these rich people go to? Do you know that the name? The forest that they go to, whatever. But he was like, I was there.
That famous forest in California. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
They talk about it on Rogan.
Yeah. Alex Jones is very familiar. He
It's
said
got
he's
like a
been there.
famous name.
What?
Who said he's been there? This Ryan Garcia guy?
Jones. But Ryan Garcia said he's been there. He's like, I watched them do disgusting things to little children.
Really?
Bro, Ryan Garcia was going through some shit, bro. He was just like, I am not suicide. Like, he was tweeting some crazy
And
shit,
who is
bro.
he? As a UFC fighter?
He's a fighter. Bro, you don't know about this? This is all over Twitter, like,
Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, that's it.
So he was like, I was at Bohemian Grove. Like, like they tied me down. They made me watch. But then again, like, I don't know, bro.
How did he get there though as a fighter?
He has a lot of money, bro. He has millions of followers.
What kind of fighter is he? UFC or boxer?
What?
Is he a boxer?
One of them. I don't know. Fucking look him up.
I don't
There's
know.
just
I'm
some shit.
curious.
Again, I know a little.
But dude, that's what we talked about though on the other. But it's like, how do you know who's telling the truth? Like, that's the kicker. Like, I could say I saw somebody do something on the way here. There's no way to prove I did.
Unless you got photo evidence. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
He has
video
photo-
evidence.
Like Alex Jones had photo evidence of Bohemian Grove. Like so I watched this documentary that my boy put me on to mid-COVID. I was believing in whatever. I had time for anything. You know what I mean? I got deep into QAnon and adrenochrome.
This has caught me off guard. I did not know that about you.
There was this one thing that it did stand out to me because you can't deny this. Their whole big thing is symbols. That's their whole big thing.
Sure.
You know about that?
Yeah, I
Whole
know the Illuminati
symbolism.
symbol.
What?
I know the Illuminati symbol.
They say like the whole eye thing, like the black eye thing. Even what's her name just came out about it too and said something. Who's the one who got canceled?
Woman?
Yeah, the woman.
Ellen
She had the
DeGeneres?
famous show,
Roseanne?
Roseanne.
Oh yeah, she's a
she
little
goes. I took this photo on a cover, and they like made me cover my eye or something like that. And it's like I don't know. They just told me to do that, but they know what they're doing, and that's what everybody does. They do like this black eye club. They do like this. It's just like a symbolism that they do.
Right.
And she was like, I had no idea, but things got crazy, whatever. Like somebody called me up, was like, oh, how'd you know to do that? She was like, wait, what? Like it caught her off guard. But I bring that up to say there was this one thing that really got me. I'll never forget. I told somebody about it, but it's like, what do we watch television, we watch TV, right? We watch the TV. They've made the TV to control us in a way, right? What does TV stand for? Television. Television.
Yeah.
You know, everybody talks about all the news, how they're all very biased, which I believe they are. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I remember this compilation someone made about like NBC, CNN, like all these news outlets just saying, listen to our story. Thank you for listening to our story. It's like they're making up their story.
Right.
But television, right? It's like, what do we watch on television? Channels. Channel of people.
Mm-hmm.
What do those channels play? A broadcast. They broadcast it to the people. I was just like, I don't know. The television threw me off, bro. I was like, television.
Well, it's like a mind warp. It's like you're either
Good
watching.
name.
Yeah.
Good name,
well,
bro.
Of course, it's a good name. It wasn't a thing before that. So what else can you call it? But then
Well,
what
who
it is.
knows? Television.
Well, the point with television is like you're either being mindly entertained, like mindless just entertainment, or you're being persuaded subconsciously if you're watching the news.
Into, what is it?
TV?
No. No, it's the type of mind control. There was this mind control. Fuck, dude.
Are you talking about when someone puts you under hypnosis?
It's like no, it's like a legitimate mind control that they talked about in there. MK Ultra.
Oh, I've heard of that.
You know about MK Ultra?
I've heard of it.
So like
I don't know what it is
that's
exactly.
what television is. It's like MK Ultra. Like they're shaping your brain
Right.
into exactly what they want you to think, and
Right.
that's the whole thing that came out now with the Nickelodeon Quiet on Set. It's like, dude, you look at that. Like there's cum shots framed as like
Allegedly.
no, they're not cum shots. They're allegedly to look like cum shots. But
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
potentially.
I mean, the sucking of the toes, bro. Like the girl's 13.
I mean, I was
The
a big
licking,
fan.
the
but-
bear zoom in on the licks, like sure, like throughout the whole thing, and then like you focus on only those. Obviously, it's gonna make it,
It is
much bigger
true.
than what it is.
Yeah, I was trying to make it into a joke how after you watch that documentary, especially if you're someone who watched those shows, me,
Yes.
and grew up on that shit, that documentary makes you feel like a complete moron. Like it just hones in on the craziest stuff and,
You're like, how did I miss
pinpoints
that?
each one.
We're
Exactly,
children.
like how did I miss
We're
that?
children. Our brains aren't formed yet. They
True.
formed our brains.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And I mean, why is Amanda Bynes like that?
Right.
What makes a person go crazy like that? Why
Right.
is Kanye like that? What makes a person go crazy like that? Unless they saw some shit that is like, whoa. It's like I changed now after things I learned from just regular interactions I have with people. Like I changed my behavior a lot because of the way people tell me they perceive me. Some people just go crazy, I feel like, because they just like can't face reality and they're just like, I have to escape
Yeah.
because it's a dangerous world.
Right. Especially when you're like famous and got pressure on you and you're like 14 or whatever.
I think you become the most insecure and like I've heard something, I forgot who I heard from, but like, oh, it was actually in the 48 Laws of Power. It's like the more successful you become, the more insecure you become. And like everyone's just putting on a facade, bro.
Oh yeah.
Everyone. When you realize that, it makes life a little bit easier, but every single person behind closed doors, bro, every famous person behind closed door will tell you it's a fucking struggle, bro. Every single day. And that's why like I'll struggle, but I'm like, okay, it's like another day.
Yeah. I'm the same way, especially in comedy
You don't have
and
to worry
stuff.
about that. I said successful people.
Unbelievable. Guys, I'm trying to get
my digs
I'm trying to
never
get some
work,
numbers
bro.
here. That's why I put Jared Schwartz on the show, you know? Kid has a nice resume built up, huh?
It's coming together, man.
Cuz you're classic. That's true though with comics though. You like think like a comic is always putting on a facade, and then when there's like they're on stage or there's a bunch of people around them, and then you're hanging out with them like off stage, just the two of you, like you're drinking a beer or some shit, and they're just pouring out everything to you, and it's like, dude, I barely know you. They become their real self when they're just with you one
I
on
feel
one.
like I do that a little bit.
Oh, well, you do it the best because I never met a comic since I moved here who is in more circles and not in this circles at the same time. And he just
That's like a perfect example.
Bouncing from
That's
place
like a
to
perfect
place.
description, I mean.
And any given Thursday or Friday night, you go around all the comedy rooms in New York. There's a chance. There's like the highest chance you're going to see someone is him. But he'll be at all of them throughout the course of the night. Here for 5 minutes, here for an hour, here for 10 minutes, and he's nice with everybody, cordial, cool with everybody. And then I go up to him and be like, "Those your boys?" And be like, kind of. Every single time. So I'm like, so I don't know. I'm like, who are your boys? Like, I don't, he's if he was in the Illuminati, he would be great. You would be great at like portraying like not telling the truth, but giving signs that I'm a little fucked up.
I can see that.
Like you wouldn't be full Amanda Bynes, but you wouldn't be like someone who
That's funny.
like LeBron, where you don't
I think I talk a little bit too much though. I think I talk a little bit. I overshare a little bit, and that's something I'm really working on.
Not oversharing.
Yeah, and I've only known that. I've only gotten better with that over the last few years of doing comedy because everyone lets you know in comedy how you're perceived. Like I mean, I do comedy on stage, so people let me know how my joke is perceived right away.
Right.
So I get immediate feedback.
Right.
Which is probably why I gravitate towards this because I wasn't really perceived as a child. I didn't gain any perception from loved ones or close ones as a child. Mainly teachers. But my mom was like, no, my mom was just like, push that off to the side. She's like, no, he's great. He's my son. He's great. But I was fucked up, bro. Every teacher was like, he has a problem. He cannot stop talking. ADD out the ass, bro. My mom's like, I'll just do all his homework. He'll be fine.
Sounds like a great mom.
Great mom. She did a lot for me. I love her.
Mama's Boy Comedy.
Mama's Boy Comedy. Come check it out every single Friday. Gotta get you back on.
It's a fun time.
That's what I do. I'll be like, yeah, I gotta get you back on. Let's have a lunch.
He'll hit me up in about a year and a half to do it.
Tom, you just did it 7 months ago.
It's only been back for 2 weeks.
It's only been back for a few weeks.
That's a good point, though. But look, listen to me. You said you were getting a deep in QAnon during COVID, this, and that, whatever, blah, blah. Are you like, and I'm not doing like I've talked to people like, hey, you want to come do my show? What would you want to talk about? Like everyone, the theme of the show with the conspiracy, everyone's like throws the regular shit everyone knows. JFK assassination.
Right.
9/11 was
Pizzagate.
Whatever. Yeah, Pizzagate, whatever.
Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah,
Jeffrey Epstein, child sex trafficking
it's crazy,
everywhere.
Bro. Everything's coming out.
John Bonet Ramsey's parents killed her. All the basic classic ones.
Speaking of that, did you see, was it John Bonet or was it?
I don't know, there's so many cases. Madeleine McCain.
What was it? What was the clown guy?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy, bro.
Yeah.
In the Quiet on Set.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane, bro.
The fact that they even included that, I was just like, I mean...
They do it in plain sight, bro. And like, I've had people...
But my thing is, who is this guy? Because it's not like he was famous. He was like a failed actor, turned to a speech coach, looked like a dipshit. Why are you starting a pen pal? Like, how does it orchestrate a pen palship with a serial killer to being a speech coach on a Nickelodeon? Like, how do you even get that gig? Like, how would me or you be able to go get a gig as a speech? Well, you wouldn't be able to get a gig as a speech coach. There's no shot of that. But like, I just don't understand how you don't see a red flag in that when you're whatever it is, hiring a guy or doing this or doing that. Like imagine having a penship with I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I mean.
And there was a lot of dumb parents on that set.
Out of the whole thing, you felt the worst for that guy.
Of course I felt the worst for it, but he was so adamant about being involved in everything and telling people to watch out for this guy. And then the second Drake and the guy coming and his mom were like, nah, he doesn't really need you. He just backs up. Dude, my dad would freaking be like, are you out of your mind? This is my kid. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, it's court ordered, bro.
I don't know if it was it court ordered?
Yeah. Court ordered, bro.
It's just I don't
tough.
know.
It's tough. It's like it's like,
tough, but I'm skeptical about some stuff.
I'm actually
about
in a
that.
philosophy class right now. I'm back in school online, and we just did a discussion post this week about like, do we actually have free will? And it's like we do, but to a certain extent. It's like that guy has the free will to go out and like do whatever he wants, but now that court ordered, you're not allowed to like manage your son, and you have to like you can only see him on weekends. Does he really have free will?
Guess not.
It's like the government stepped in.
Right.
Because we're a governed society.
Yeah.
As we should be, obviously, But this whole thing, like, I crack up at, like, the Joe Biden earlobes. They're looking different over the years. You know what I mean?
I never even heard that.
You never seen these posts? Bro, my Twitter feed... It's pretty bad. It's only filled with it. My buddy would be like, yo, my Twitter feed's only porn. I'm like, that's crazy. Mine's only conspiracy.
Me too. Dude, me too. And I don't even go on Twitter really. I don't follow anybody. I said this on the previous episode. One day I go on to Twitter, and I really don't use Twitter at all anymore. I'll go on like once every couple days, scroll for like a minute and get off. One time I went on, I don't follow anybody. I follow like comics. I don't follow like anybody, whatever. I went on one time. Every single tweet is this dude, Dom. His name's Dom.
Yellow photo?
Yeah. Yes. Dom Lucre. He's a giant like conspiracy theory journalist. He's always breaking all this news. He like covered the Jewish tunnels and everything. Dude, I go on one day. My Twitter is just him. I don't even follow him. I never followed him. Still don't follow him. But he comes up constantly. And I'm like, why are they? Did I talk about conspiracies one day and then they just shoved on my Twitter feed because I talked about it once?
Dom Lucre.
Yeah.
He's just popping
Dude
up,
with
bro.
dreads. Yeah, popping up every single day.
Millions of followers.
Mm-hmm. And he's breaking like the craziest stuff, and he'll just tweet out like a photo of a celebrity that hasn't been talked about yet, and be like,
Watch out for him.
Watch out for this guy. He did this, and this, and it's like, who is this guy?
Oh, he just wrote. Ashley Biden wrote in her diary, which was confirmed to be authentic by the FBI and the New York Times, that her father, Joe Biden, sexually assaulted her.
Oh God. See, like, I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I'm waiting for something to all go down, and where it's like, I mean, yesterday we had an earthquake. If you guys are watching and you're not in New York or I think it was a whole Northeast basically, but we had an earthquake, which threw people off.
Well, he goes, am I the only person that thinks it's strange that lightning legit struck the Statue of Liberty yesterday and an earthquake hit New York today? Like, what?
Yeah, it's...
Like,
it makes you think,
is that
because it's
controlled?
like fun to...
Is it controlled?
Obviously not.
I don't know. It's not that obvious, kid.
The earthquake could maybe be with the nuclear
huge,
stuff,
bro.
but lightning strike, we can't control that.
The world is huge,
We
bro.
can't control it all.
The-
See, this
the
is the people
universe-
that I have on, then you're going to come in and get into my head and be like, oh, maybe...
The universe is unlimited.
I know it's unlimited, but
It's unfathomable. There's alien. I 100% believe it. Some people don't. I've talked to some. I believe aliens are walking amongst us right now.
Okay, now we've started the episode, guys.
I'm not saying I don't have any evidence. I haven't looked anything up. Well, I mean, we have the ones from Mexico, the little fucking people that they showed.
Yeah, the
That's all they're
Bob
gonna
Lazar and
show
stuff.
us. But the fact of how big the Earth is, it's unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, the thing
And
is with aliens is that...
don't even we haven't brought Trump up yet, but like he knows some shit, bro.
Well, is that your... Here, this is what I wanted to ask you. Do you have something heavily that believe... You just said you think aliens walking among us.
I think aliens are walking amongst us.
Now, here's what's
100%,
funny with that.
and I think they have. And I've seen some posts on Twitter or whatever. I'm not saying they're real. Like, people are fact checking Twitter. Fact checks on Twitter are crazy now. But like, I think there's definitely, like, I'm trying to use the right word, but like, I think there's definitely, like, not automobiles, but like, I think there's aircrafts. I think there is technology that is beyond our capacity that aliens have made, where like they're invisible.
This guy's getting wild now.
I think so,
Listen,
dude. I
don't think it's out of the realm of possibility because the government basically said that we've captured whatever. They could also just be lying to us.
Exactly.
But
Why wouldn't they
Bob-
be lying to us, bro?
But then you guys get the guys like Bob Lazar, who was like an actual scientist who worked on Area 51. He's like, no, I saw an alien body and an alien spacecraft and this and this. And then you're like, well, is this guy a whack job? Plus he's, old or whatever, and maybe maybe he's in cahoots with the government. Like then you start thinking like, because the thing is, dude, look, the thing is with aliens, and I've said this before. They're here. They're not here until one walks in the door right now and tries and starts doing. Yeah, no, we might not even that we won't believe it, but it's just like, who cares? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, unless it's unless
You
War of
can't
the
focus
Worlds,
on it.
exactly,
What
you
does it
can't
do?
worry
It's a
about
waste
it.
of time. Yeah.
Unless War of the Worlds happens and then we're like surviving for our lives and there's giant machines coming over. It's like,
Right.
okay, we have to like survive now. What are we gonna do? We have to just keep on living our life. And if I walk into a Starbucks after this and the barista's an alien, but he seems like a normal person to me, what am I gonna
serves
do?
you the coffee, right?
Yeah,
and he pours the nice little,
and he puts
flour,
the exact amount of milk in that I want.
He
Like,
puts the flour on the top. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? The little art.
I just got to keep living
the
my
latte
life.
art.
That's my point with all this stuff
Might
happening.
make better latte art.
I mean, an alien could probably make a latte in like 3 seconds. They just look at you and it appears. But my thing is, like you said, like the lightning being controlled, the earthquake, whatever, like all this stuff, like we talked at the top of the episode, is just coming out now. Everything is just like a thing. Diddy, sex trafficking, natural disasters, this, and this. Until we get to a point where we have to fight for our lives and survive, you have to just live your life.
You have to just live your life.
And
continue learning
and try not to screw up, because now you can be held accountable for literally anything. I think you're much worse off if you're like very famous and you did some sketchy stuff, because that's who you're going to be after, like, but I think it's going to come to a point where like literally just every single person with X amount of fame or with X amount of power, not even fame necessarily, because look at
Power
Epstein.
is different than
He wasn't famous, he was just very wealthy. Powerful, wealthy, you got Bill Gates.
Connected, bro.
You got, connected. Like, connected is very, when you get the government involved and you got billionaires and like rich international leaders involved, that's when it becomes different than like, whatever, a pedo sex ring in Hollywood, which could also be happening, but who the hell knows?
There's definitely societies out there like, upper class societies that are involved in some shit, bro.
I'm sure.
100%. And I forgot what I was gonna say.
I don't know, but I know there was I was watching Mark Gagnon's podcast, and he had this guy on who was a former New York detective, and he got called to a house. This is like 80s or 90s or whatever. Or he got some intel from somebody saying that he showed up. A guy showed up to a like mansion, big ass mansion up in Westchester or something, and they were sacrificing a child, and it was like all these rich, wealthy, whatever. I don't know. What do you call them? What was Jeffrey Epstein like? Not an entrepreneur, like a
Philanthropist.
Philanthropist, yeah, like
philanthropist.
Yeah, just like wealthy.
Why is
whatever.
Bill Gates, man who invented computers or software, telling us about COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Because he has power and control.
Right.
People listen, oh, well, if he invented this software and changed
the world,
the world,
he's got to be right.
He's got to be right.
Right.
We got to listen to him. He's smart.
And what sucks is the boomers and the people who I'd say most people over like 50 will just listen to them and be like, oh, yeah, this is true, that's true, whatever is true. Or just go on living their lives. But I guess you got to question stuff sometimes, but you can't let it overtake your life to the point where you can't function. Yeah, people go crazy, and that's that's what I think is maybe even happening. Like, who knows if Amanda Bynes was molested for whatever, but maybe she just went crazy because she couldn't deal with the fame. Maybe Kanye went crazy because he couldn't deal with the fame.
100%. And a part of me loves the way I am sometimes, and people hate it, women especially, because of like how dumb I am. But I think I'm dumb, but like I lost carry-on luggage. Like I know I'm dumb. I carried it on.
Yeah, I carried it on.
It wasn't mine that I carried.
Don't call yourself dumb, all right?
No.
I'm very
like I'm big on the four agreements. Like I'm big in speaking everything into existence. Like that's my type of energy that I'm on. Like I believe very much in energy. And I just want to put like a statement out, not a statement, like a what is it?
PSA?
Not a PSA, like a disclosure that like. Anything I'm saying today, like, there's no facts here that I like. It's just things I see on Twitter, and I'm just regurgitating. Like, I'm not big into like conspiracies. Like,
and we're comedians again, so that's just like all these people
who trying to
like,
find funny ideas.
They like believe Joe Rogan for every word he says. It's like at the end of the day, he's a comic, and we're all bullshitting. I mean, he actually has real like insane guests on and knowledge because he's been doing it forever, and he's had smart, and he talks to smart people every day. But we're just a couple of dipshits.
I mean, what I do is like I'm never the smartest person in the room. And that's great.
And that's a good way to be. Yeah, I gotta start doing that more.
But it makes me feel dumb sometimes. I'm like, no, but I'm also surrounding myself by great people. Nobody's kicking me out.
Right.
I'm in these rooms for a reason. Like I'm hanging out with these people for a reason.
Right.
And I'm very aware of that. But also, and sometimes I'm getting out because like I said, I'm dumb, but like I'm not as smart as I want to be. Right. That's a better way to put it.
Sure.
I'm not as smart as I want to be. And sometimes, like, I was with this girl, man. She was like, "Why don't you watch the news? You should watch the news. Watch the news. Watch the news." Like, sure, I should watch the news. Don't get me wrong. I should be updated, but like. That was her identity.
Yeah.
That was one of her identities. And I'm oblivious to that stuff because it will make you go crazy.
Yes. Also, watching the news doesn't.
That's why I'm like, first of all, that I'm dumb.
And watching the news nowadays doesn't make you smart. It can make you informed, but it can make you informed with a bias. What makes you smart is questioning things, being inquisitive, watching all the news channels, not just one, and then seeing the differences between them all. Going online, researching, questioning things, watching podcasts. Like there was a literal 1,000% chance that watching the Joe Rogan Experience episode with a guy like a Neil deGrasse Tyson or someone educated or smart, whatever, is probably more educational and informative than watching a 20-minute Fox update at 6 p.m. Like that's
100%,
insane.
100%.
Like if you're trying to see the latest stories, like we had an earthquake, some guy got stabbed in the subway last night, and Biden passed out, Biden passed out while he was giving a speech. That doesn't make you smart. That just makes you like, okay, I know the dumb 3-4 news stories that happen.
I can talk about them at a dinner.
Exactly.
Like, who cares?
I do a bit on stage where I'm like, my mom will just text me because she just watched the news, so she just got informed with the latest 10 news stories. Nothing smart, nothing question, nothing inquisitive, nothing nothing factual other than like this actually happened.
It's an identity.
Like guy got stabbed, Biden's asleep, and we had an earthquake. I get it. Okay, that's not making you smart. The news. I haven't watched the news in probably 12 years because
that's why you're hanging out with me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean you're not informed. You don't have to watch the news every day to be informed. Like, we're comedians. We are talking about this stuff on stage. it might sound dumb, but we're on Twitter and Instagram sometimes. You don't think the second a news story breaks on Fox, you don't go on Instagram and it's the first thing that comes up? That's how it works. Like, you don't have to be watching the actual news to get that. And I'm not trying to get biased up by CNN or Fox. I'm trying to keep my own opinion and my own
No, don't get me wrong. I want to be informed, more informed. But I sometimes cannot soak in that information.
Me too, dude.
That's just who I know. Who I am. Like, people get upset. Like, especially my last partner, like, would get like visibly upset with me.
Right.
When once she wouldn't even talk news stories with me. So it's like, okay, you want me to read the news, but you don't bring anything up to me. So that's a little weird. Right. You know what I mean? And then visibly upset with me, and like, I just don't process that. It's just like, we're different. Like, I think she was more upset that I was so comfortable in my skin, not caring about that.
Me too.
And it's like, she's like, you should care about that. I'm like, okay. And she couldn't like stand that, but we weren't compatible. That's just what it was at the end of the day.
And it's not even that like you don't care about it. It's just that like I'm not going to preoccupy my time with that because what am I going to do? It's like when people come at me and it's like, I'm not going to take a stance on Israel-Palestine because I'm not Jewish and I'm not Palestinian or Arab, and I'm just going to sound stupid.
It's a world issue, bro.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a world issue, but it's like, I'm not there.
But
what am I?
I'm not there, but then
we don't
also
have a power right now where we're at, where it maybe could affect someone. Where it's like when they have all these like when they have all these celebrities saying go vote for Biden, go vote for Biden, it seems very rigged.
Yeah, and I'm not going to my favorite celebrities to see who they're voting for so I can do the same thing. I'm going for them to entertain me or make me laugh or whatever their job is, literally. And it's not to say like anybody with a brain and with ears knows that they're against killing innocent people and the Israel-Palestine. But I'm not going to take a hard stance because I'm just going to sound like an idiot, and they're going to be like, "Who are you? You got no dog in the fight." And also, there's no dog in the fight. It's that any rational person would be in favor of the peaceful side.
Have conversations anymore, man.
Yeah,
like even last night,
without
like,
getting into it.
I was with these really cool girls. We were having a great conversation. She's like, it seems like you're getting real offended at what I say. I was like, no, I'm just having a conversation. I'm sorry if that's how my tone is coming off. Right. Even though she was coming at my jokes, but like, which you're coming at my legitimate personal art.
Right.
And which is
he performs his art every week,
which is a pedophile joke. Which I'm like I'm like, are you fucking serious? A pedophile joke? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's my whole act.
That's my but like, no, she did give me really good advice, which I really did appreciate. But like, a part of me was like, when she said like, you're like coming at me, and I'm like, no, I'm just trying to have a conversation. But sometimes, not her, she was able to have a conversation. It's good like that. But like, there were some people like my ex that like couldn't have conversations. Mm-hmm. Like, even when like we were on, she's like, we're fighting right now. I'm like, no, we're communicating.
Yeah. If
you don't want to listen to my side, that's so be it. Like, I've been there too. Like, you sometimes don't have the energy for someone because you know you've been there, you've had the experience, and you're self-aware enough to exit a conversation.
Sure.
But there's some people who are just immature about it.
Right.
Who just won't listen.
Right.
And just like then.
And they're looking to argue and get their point across.
They're going to argue, get their whole point across, and that's it. And they don't care about the other side. And it's like, okay, then you're the problem.
Right.
Like, I had some crazy racial stuff happen to me like the other day. And like, dude, I was on mushrooms, right? And like, before we get into the bar, it's like a bar club area, kind regards. It's a cool little spot. And this is downstairs, but we were upstairs, right? It was like, there's a DJ booth and there's a couch. But before we get in, it was like a group of 7 of us. We had a few black people in our group.
I'm not a fan. Go ahead.
Of the bar.
Of the bar.
And I grew up with black people. No, but we go in. I'm on mushrooms. Before we even get in, I'm like, yo, like the mushrooms were fucking me up, obviously. And I'm like, I just gotta sit. And we get in. We go to they all grab their drinks. I just get a water. We go to this where there's a DJ booth, and right across is like an L-shaped couch. And there's these 2 black women sitting on the corner. And it's a public space, not like a table that they bought and purchased for them.
Right.
It's a public fucking space.
Right.
I sit down at the end of the L. The top of the L. They were on the curvature of the L.
Okay.
I'm on the top, just sitting there for like 10 minutes, bro. My whole crew I'm with is dancing. And then the black girl that was in our group walks over. And again, I'm in my own head. I'm on mushrooms, bro. I'm fucked up. I've told you that. And this black girl comes to me that's in our group that I've been hanging out with the whole day, like literally for like a couple bars before that, a few hours, right? And she goes, did you ask them if it was all right to sit here? And I go, nah, I do what I want.
I say that too.
From my perspective, I thought she was talking about the venue.
What do you mean talking about the venue?
I thought she was referring to the venue. When she said, did you ask him?
Oh, yeah, ask the venue, because maybe it was VIP seating or something.
The them was, in my head, the venue.
Right.
I was like, nah, I do what I want. Fuck the venue.
Okay.
I'm sitting. If somebody tells me to get up, I'll get up.
Right.
Nobody told me to get up.
Right.
I'm sitting. It's public space.
Sure. Seems pretty normal to me.
Pretty normal, right? The black girl to the right of me who was sitting there turns her head and goes like, no, you can't do whatever the fuck you want, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's my boy DJ. Like, that has nothing to do with it. He don't own this table, whatever.
Right.
And then, like, I was like, whoa. Like, and I was on mushrooms, bro. It just took me out of my high. I come back into my body. Like, I was on another planet. Like, not on another planet, but, like, my body was, my soul was out of my body.
Yeah, you're
And then
high.
it comes back, too. I'm like, whoa. Reality kicks in. Now I got two black girls screaming in my ear.
But she didn't say anything until your
Didn't say
other friend
anything
came up
until
and
my
said something.
Well, my friend, the girl that I was with, said something.
Well, you saying I do what I want just triggered her because she would have said
Triggered her.
something from the
Triggered her.
get-go.
Could have said something from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then the moment I was like, whoa, I didn't even know she was talking about you, but she didn't want to hear a thing, bro. And the friend I was with turned around, and then this girl goes, and I finished her sentence. It's hard for me to like explain it, but I finished her sentence, and she goes, that's why, and at the same time I go, entitled white man, yeah, I know.
Really?
I finished that sentence.
Right out of the textbook.
Out of a textbook. I'm like, I knew that's where it was going to go, and it's like, it has nothing to do with race.
Right.
And then I go, can I speak? And they're like, no.
And they're like, no.
And then the black girl I was with sat down, took her spot. Her white boyfriend sat there with his fucking humped over back, just like didn't like a little.
So the two girls who were originally sitting there left.
No. They stayed. The girl that I came with took my seat with her fucking white scrawny boyfriend who like had a humpback because he doesn't know how to stand up straight.
Hey, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
And then what'd you do? You got up?
I got up. I was like, my boy was like, my black friend who I was with, who like I'm good friends with, love the kid. We've been going out a whole bunch. It was his best friend, and the black girl. And he was like, yo, you disrespect her. I go, no, bro. She told me to get up, and I was like, I didn't know she was talking. She told me, like, did I ask him? I was like, no. I thought she was talking about, and I said, nah, I don't. I do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know she was talking about these black girls.
Right.
I'm not rude like that.
Right.
I would have been like, oh, no, I didn't ask them.
Right.
But I had no idea.
Right.
But they wanted to hear. He's like, yo, just go walk it off, bro. Go walk it off. Like, they did. I go, can I talk? They're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear. And that's not going to bring us together as a society, bro.
No, that's
But
actually.
at the end of the day, bro.
If what you're describing is fully accurate, that sounds
It's fully accurate, bro.
ridiculous.
That's the story. And again, my perspective, and I told her this.
But
I did
what
apologize.
your boy didn't even believe you?
No, it's just the heat of the moment, bro. It was weird. And I told them afterwards. I did apologize after because I'm not saying I was wrong, but I'm not saying like I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like I do what I want. Like you just say some shit like
Yeah. Plus you're high.
I'm high.
But also, I just don't. It makes no sense because you said you're sitting there 10, 15 minutes
10, 15
before
minutes.
the girl
Before
you're
the
with
girl
even
comes
comes over.
Our
So
group
the
was there.
two
She
girls at
joined
the
us.
end,
Yep.
when you first sat down, they could be like, "Hey, no, please don't sit there. Someone's gonna sit there."
Sure.
And they didn't say anything.
I also could have said, hey, do you mind if I sit here? But I was just fucked up. It's a public space. I don't have
Yeah,
to.
exactly. It's a public space. You say it's an L thing. It's not like you're this close.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
I wasn't on top of her.
I wouldn't ask somebody
Wasn't on
that.
top
It's
of
like
her.
when you sit next to somebody at a bar stool in a bar.
Exactly.
That's insane.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. And it's not a racial thing, dude. It's a humanity thing.
Yeah.
It's a humanity thing. And that's not to say, like, I don't see color, but, like, there was no need to bring race into it.
Right.
And that's where it fucked me up. That's why I started being like, nah, fuck that. Like at the end of the day, like that's not what it was about. It
Right.
wasn't about race. It was about respect.
Right.
And that doesn't have to do with color of your, the context of your, it was the context of your character or that
Sure.
Martin Luther King said.
No idea.
It's fucked up of me to
Probably
botch
should.
that. You know what I mean?
Shout out MLK, the GOAT. Love that guy.
I've been taking some notes from him, and I'm not talking about the speeches he gave. I'm talking about
The
games.
orgies.
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about.
But
boy.
that was and that leads me to the next point. There's some I forgot who was talking about it. I don't know if it was a black guy. I think it might have been. But there's this movie that supposedly Barack Obama produced, and it pinned black people. It's like the end of the world or something like that, and it pinned. It was the black guy in the movie was like, we can't trust these white people, and it was a conspiracy talking about it. It's why would you say that? It's like, Barack, you read this script. Well, you were all for everyone come together. Why would you make a movie that shows us black people are saying you can't trust the white man.
Yeah, that's
And I
more
get
of
that.
like
Don't
a,
get me wrong. Everything we've done, like
that sounds like more of like a
that's
Jordan.
like saying I can't trust Germans because I'm Jewish. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
that
like,
sounds more of like a Jordan Peele project. I would feel like, but
sure, but it's like, that's what I saw earlier. Let me look up the movie, bro. That like Barack.
I've heard of Barack and Michelle being like having like a production company or something like
What?
that. I've heard they've had like they have like a production company or something. I feel like Barack and
Leave the
Michelle.
World Behind, bro.
Oh, that was like a famous movie that just came out, isn't it? Didn't
So it's
it?
like I
it
don't
was
know
just
what it's about.
nominated.
What's
Yeah, it was nominated for an Oscar.
a family vacation on Long Island is interrupted by two strangers bearing news of a blackout. As the threat grows, both families must decide how best to survive the potential crisis, all while grappling with their own place in this collapsing world. Great logline, but like
Yeah, that was nominated for an Oscar.
I didn't watch the movie, so
Me neither.
I know a little about a lot. But like I saw this from another guy, and it's probably some guy who does the same type of podcast as you. So
Whoa!
original here.
This podcast is very original, and it is separated from many podcasts, and it is an original creative project by me, Tom Zappia, that makes it stand out. Okay, it's not like any other podcast. I ain't a tinfoil hat guy out here. Go ahead.
No, you're a red hat guy.
Trump 2024.
Right. that worked out. That worked out. But yeah, I didn't watch the movie, but supposedly it's like the black guys are saying we can't trust these white people, and it's like you're talking about putting. Yeah, I get it, it's a movie, but it's like a lot of people are like, yo, all these movies are looking real. You know, it's like The Simpsons. It's like The Simpsons.
They predict everything like 10 years before it happens.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I
That
believe
makes-
that shit, bro.
That makes me think
He knows
some
something we don't.
Hollywood stuff, because that's just like they predicted the 9/11 thing, and they predicted something with a I
They
think
predicted like Queen Elizabeth. They predicted all these.
yeah, which is very odd, but
Very odd.
but you
bro.
see how we bring it up, and then it's just like
All in
okay,
plain sight, bro.
and then we just go on with our
That's it.
day.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares about it? It's funny to talk about. It's just like, yeah, I'm informed about that. I'm informed about. People are like, why? Why are you informed? I'm just like, I don't know.
Right.
I just have so much stupid shit in my head that I'm just like, why is this here? Like I
Me
have
too.
a memory in my head. I remember I was trying to do a joke about it, but I never did. It was like, I wish I could replace certain memories, like, and just like take other memories out of the bank. You know,
Yeah.
and that happens, but you don't realize it. But like, there's this one memory I can never forget. Walking to an open mic, and I watched this one homeless guy piss on another homeless guy. I'm like, that's
Sounds like
the
a good
world we
time.
live in. He probably took his food or some shit. Like,
Probably. I would hope so. I hope
like,
he gets
dude,
something
I
to
don't
him to
understand
deserve
homeless
that.
people because I would kill myself.
Careful there, Chief. All right.
I would kill myself.
Like
It's like you know how
Yeah.
like I'm very aware of who I surround myself. Like when I say like I'm not the dumbest person, I know that I'm the dumbest person in the room sometimes. I'm aware of that, and like
Right.
that makes me feel good because I'm surrounding myself by smart people.
Sure.
But these guys are so disassociated with life that they don't realize they're surrounding themselves with other crackheads,
Mm-hmm.
and they just want to get that high. And it makes life so real. Like other than human touch, that to me makes life seem so real because these people are so unaware. Like I'm aware of what they're doing, but
Mhm.
they're so unaware, and they're just chasing that next high that they'll do legitimately anything, sit on a step for 4 hours and do nothing. And their mindset is just like, I gotta ask for money so I can get more drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where their mind is.
Right.
And that's a scary thought.
I think about that too sometimes for the ones that, and I think there are some that are not necessarily drug addicts looking to get high. They just need to like down on their luck or whatever. Because like, there's a bunch of homeless guys on my block and stuff that like maybe they are cracked out some of the day,
King of fucking drug addicts.
but they don't seem like. There's a couple who seem like just like they're down on their luck. They're not really like cracked out. Like
no,
if
no.
a
That's
guy.
a facade.
What if it's like like I have guys come to me and they just like nicely ask me for like $1 or whatever, and they're dressed like better than me. And I'm like, is this like a joke, or are you like just
I know,
really
they'll be wearing,
broke,
like, Yeezys,
or are you a
Gucci.
crackhead and you just hide it really well?
They just hide it really well, bro. It's like I can't fathom those
Yeah, dude, a
people.
dude came up to me in like new Jordans,
I know, bro.
and I was wearing this. I'm like, dude, I'm not that much
it makes
better off
life-
than you.
And again, like a lot of things, sometimes I like even with the girls last night, like I'll mention these things, and like sometimes I just say things. I'm just like, isn't that interesting? Like, and that's it. And like just try to spark conversation. Some people just be like, I don't know what to say to that.
Right.
And like that's what I do. I just try to elicit conversation. Like I think I'm a good middle at a dinner table.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not gonna
Spark
lead, but you're
conversation.
not gonna just be nothing. And
No,
not
I'll
say anything.
lead. I'll lead. I'm not gonna make the most fascinating point. I'm not gonna end a conversation. I might close the loop after we all have a conversation. Like but sometimes I'll just spark a conversation. Like I'll throw up the lob.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I can do that.
Like then that's what I mean by certain things. Where like last night, like these girls I was talking to, they're just like, like I mentioned something like, and they believed me. They were very, very listening to me. Not very, very listening. They were not intrigued. They were just like
Attentive?
Attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on what I was saying. And then there was a couple things at the end. They were just like, yeah, you lost me on that. I'm like, okay. Like, some things I just say to just be like, isn't that interesting?
Right.
Like, I look at someone, I'm like, what made them choose that outfit?
Yeah, you are very... You're
introspective.
Yeah, you're like no one I've ever met, especially comic, because most comics are just like...
Thank you, bro.
You kind of are in the sense of like sometimes you're in your own world or something, but like you're also like a very like... cordial, you'll say hi to everyone, and then you'll meet them for 5 seconds, and then you start asking them questions, and
and they're genuine. People don't think they're genuine. They're genuine because I genuinely want to know.
Because a lot of people are doing that fakely, or they're doing it because they're trying to get something out of him, or they're just like they don't care. They're just doing it to like stale air. But you're like actually intrigued sometimes, like even if like asking questions or just like bringing up a topic and asking someone's opinion on it or something. Like, yeah, you I'm the complete opposite.
That.
Like, I was at my girl's with her parents and her brother and his girlfriend a couple weeks ago, and they're like mammering back and forth or whatever, and they're talking about it, and like I don't have anything to like add in really, and I can't do that many jokes there because it's like her parents. You know me, I'm usually just trying to crack the jokes at the end. But like she's like, you barely talked to like when we were like, and I was like, I had nothing to contribute. So I'm like that guy who's like, if there's something that I could jump in on, I will, but I'm not going to go out of my way just so my voice can be heard. I'm not like that. I don't care.
Right. That's part of why my ex and I broke up, because she's like, well, how are you going to contribute if you don't know the news? We talk about the news in my family. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a family I don't want to be in. But their family was great. No, don't get me wrong. Her family was great. But like, and we talked so much. They loved that I was a comedian. Like, they respected me.
Oh, yeah.
We like, her dad asked a lot of questions. Her stepmom and dad asked a lot of questions. And they were very intrigued. And like, who cares about the news? Like, why is that the only conversation? That's do or die.
Dude, I'm the exact same
thing.
Do or
die. Like,
I'm the exact same
that's
thing.
the hill you're gonna die on.
100%.
I can't have a conversation about the news with you guys. So like, we can't talk about other things.
Yeah, I'm the exact same thing. I gotta go to my parents tomorrow, and my parents, my mom especially, are just
my parents are
libbed out like CNN, like Biden.
No, they're not even news
blah
people.
blah.
My parents aren't news people.
They're news people.
My parents
but then they'll ask me, or this is mostly my mom, or she'll ask me, and she'll be like, talking about Trump or Biden, and I'll just say straight, I don't care. Like, I literally do not care. It doesn't affect my life. I don't care. I don't like politics. I think it's all corrupt and bullshit. And then she'll get mad. Then she'll get offended.
It does affect our life in a bit, but like.
But it's not enough for me to vote. Like, the blue's gonna win this state every time. Like, I don't need to. I don't care.
Stand on, come through for us, baby.
I'll be taking jabs at them, and sometimes I'll be kind of serious. And I'll like make like pro-Trump statements, and then they'll get annoyed.
Well, it's not even pro-Trump. It's just pro like.
Rational
opposing,
or just devil's advocate,
devil's advocate, and they're just like, oh wow, you must be trying, like, it's like, dude, you.
But then they'll get annoyed. They'll be like, wait, you're not serious. Like, they don't get like. Sometimes I am doing a bit. Other times I'm like kind of just jabbing at them to play devil's advocate. And it's like, I don't care either way. I think this side sucks, and I think that side sucks. It's like, let me poke the bear. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not entertaining for me for me to just sit there and then drill on about Joe Biden. I'll blow my head off.
Right.
You know.
And. What was the point before you brought up your girlfriend's dinner?
That you're inquisitive, like you're like.
I would ask questions, and I've gotten at first like, I mean, I've always been curious. I've always asked questions, but now I've gotten better, and I've gotten better with reading energy. And great book, for the Four Agreements.
Four Agreements is good. Oh, you mentioned 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, right?
Yeah,
that's a really good book too.
That's really good. I read that one through, front to back. But like, and that's a perfect example. And those two books. Let me know, because when I first started comedy, I didn't start reading until like 3 years into comedy or whatever.
I have not started reading yet.
But I would just ask questions. I would be curious, and people thought it was fake. I was like, no, I'm genuinely just curious. And I wouldn't realize people didn't like it. But now I realize when people don't like it, and I'll move on. I'm like, okay, we're just not compatible as people.
Right.
Or you're just closed off.
Right.
Like whenever I see a person with their arms folded, like psychologically, like you're closed off.
Right.
I'll tell people, I'm like, open up.
Right.
You're not going to open up to me. Like, when I go out to dinner now, I prefer to sit side by side because you're more likely to open up when you're not staring at them in the eyes.
Really?
That's a psychological fact.
I never even heard that.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of, like, these podcasts where, like, they're on, like, Diary of a CEO, Jay Shetty. It's like, I listen to, like, relationship and, like, psychologists. Like, I'm huge on psychologists. Okay. Like, I love psychology and, like, psychology and
I could see you being a psychologist.
Philosophy.
Yeah,
just because it's just like there's no real answers, bro. There's
it's all introspective.
Psychology, there's sort of answers. It's like, oh, you got defensive because of this that happened in your childhood. Right. You know what I mean? Like, sure, that could be true, but it might not be for some people. But like, it leans more towards the side of like a broader answer. It's not I wouldn't say finite. I don't know if finite's the right word, but it's not definite.
Sure.
And I'm not a 2 + 2 = 4 guy.
Right.
I do comedy.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
I like asking questions. I like finding a new angle, a new perspective.
Yeah.
Some people can't process it. They're like, no. We have to be inside the box.
Yeah.
Says who?
Well, that's why I messed with. That's
why we go to Bohemian Grove. We want to be outside the box.
I'm trying to get that invite, but that's why
Tom, you're on the list. You're deep down, but you're on the list when I invite you.
I'm ready.
The people I invite.
Well, dude, that's why I kind of started messing with you because going back to that what you were saying, like closed off in a box. Like I'm very introverted.
We have great conversations outside.
Yeah, but like once I hung out with you a couple times, and I realized, oh, he's just inquisitive, like kind of annoying, like interesting guy, and he's not like tooly. Once I can,
It takes a little bit to warm up to
and
me.
once I can get that warmth from someone and buffer it, then I'll talk to them like nonstop.
Right.
But if
We
I'm
can have
just, if
conversations.
you're at a bar and someone's introducing you to their friend, I'm not the guy who's going to go right up to the friend and be like, how's this? Ask 50 questions. You're that guy. That's why I was like,
I am that
that's
guy.
why we're very different. But once I realized you're cool, you're normal, because I'm sure there's people who don't like you or don't fuck with you, and same with me. So like, but once I get the relationship where it's like, oh, I understand this guy's not just like trying to get something or he's tooly.
Right. He's a genuine person. He has a good
I'll
heart.
talk about anything. I'll tell you how big my dick is. Like I don't
There's
care.
some people and
Or small.
sadly, there's some people who are just closed off, and that's just how they are, and they just like you. Like I remember we went out to a big dinner after a show with one of the girls I'm seeing, and cut that out.
I will.
Cut out the one of, and then cut out that. But all right, start from now. It's like when I went out with the girl I'm seeing and her friends after my show, and we went out with comics, and so like it was a whole new group. Like I didn't even know her friends.
Right.
She doesn't know any of my friends, so like we're all meeting for the first time.
Right.
And she had this one friend who was just like, she's new on the dating scene. I remember like she called me on the phone like a few days earlier and was like, my friend wants to know how do I flirt? And I was like, oh, you don't really flirt. Like that's just not your thing. You're very straightforward. And like it was tough for me to say that over the phone, like because you don't want to be mean. But like she flirts, don't get me wrong, but she's not like the biggest flirt. Like I don't know if you ever seen me in action, bro.
I have.
But I even do it
On
to like,
McDougal Street recently.
oh right.
Oh right.
Not recently.
Oh no, that was like a couple years ago.
No,
Yeah.
no, that was a couple months ago.
That was like a year ago.
But like, I'll just do it for friends. Like not guy friends, but like just women in comedy. Like I'm not trying to pick you up, but like keep the knife sharp. But just like it's fun to like flirt.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a fun game. It's a push and pull game.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say there was the friend that she was asking about how to flirt, whatever. I was like my whole thing is humor. I flirt with humor.
Sure.
You know, I neg a little
Most
bit.
comics do.
Well, yeah, well, that's the only thing we know, right?
Yeah.
But I say that to say that her friend was very closed off. She liked the show. She was like, yeah, it was okay. I was like, all right. And then I was like, oh, so like, where are you from? Whatever. I started asking questions like, she's like, and not really, you'll know, and this is what I've gotten much better at recently. If people don't ask questions back, I'm like, oh, they're not interested. So I'm like, I'm not going to continue. I like to reciprocate energy.
Yes.
So if you're not going to, I'll do it for a little bit. I'll put my hat in the ring. But if you're not putting your hat in, like if you're not throwing any change in my hat, like I don't want anything to do with you.
Sure.
And it got to a point where she, like a couple questions, closed off. Third question, closed off. And then I was like, did you like this book? And she was like, oh my God, I love that book. And you see a flick switch, like her facial expression changed, and it's just like I connected with her,
Mm-hmm.
and she loved that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like we were able to have dialogue after that. We were
Right.
able to connect on something. And it's just like I ask these questions to try and find a connection with these people.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Some people aren't aware of it. Like some people, like Tobin gets so fucking annoyed about it. Some people just don't like to share. Some people just don't like to share, and I have to accept that. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't want to be around people who don't share. I don't want to be around people who don't share their perspective of me or how I'm perceived. Because I openly share how people are perceived, and people are like, "Yo, it's rude. You can't do that." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay. Well, also we're
That's
in
who I
a,
am. Then let's move
Yeah.
on. We don't have to be friends.
and we're in a game where there's a lot of fake people or like real in the right instant, in the right situations, or only real with their close friends. Like there's a comic who'll come up right up to you and say, "Oh, that was great," and then an hour later they're talking shit about. Yeah, when can I do your show? And then an hour later they're talking shit about you to another guy because for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I honestly, bro, like obviously everyone talks shit. Everyone's a slip up's gonna come, but like I pride myself on not talking as like shit. Like I really don't. Like if we've hung out, like we've had a few moments where we're like, that guy fucking whatever. Like I think I actually feel like I'm the same. I have and not knowingly and until you get to a certain level of success or fame, it's really tough to even have beefs. But I feel like there are some like at our level. I've had beefs since I started this, which lets me know that I'm gonna be successful. That's Tim Dillon's called me the #1 most hated man in comedy.
That might be him.
I texted him. I go, hey Tim, I saw you dyed your hair, man. Just wanted to check in, make sure everything's all right. He goes, thank you, most hated man in comedy. I just wrote LOL.
That is true though, but I think I side with you there, where I genuinely don't. Maybe I'll do like a jab. Like
you have to get frustrations out sometimes. Like,
but also if it's a jab you're roasting and it's someone you literally see every week or every day and hang out with and do shows with, and then you make a joke and say, he's got that your hack whatever joke. You're obviously joking and taking a jab.
Right.
But I've never thoughtfully talked shit about anyone that I can think of, and knowingly don't have any beefs right now in the scene that I know of. So if someone hates me, that's fine. But I don't unless they're gonna come up and tell me to my face, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Right.
So that's how I think it should go.
And that's why we connect, Tom.
And that's why we connect. And with that, we're going to wrap it up, okay? This has been YOOHOO. We didn't do much conspiracy talk. We did up top a little bit. But
the whole thing was it
became more of a therapy session towards the end, but that's nice. I'm
on a bi-weekly therapy session. That's probably why. So I had to get it in somehow.
I'm the therapist now. Imagine you walked into the therapy office and I'm the fucking therapist. That'd be hilarious.
Only because I know you.
All right, Jared Schwartz. He's a good kid. I like him a lot. Follow him. What do you got, Jared Schwartz?
The kid.
The kid Jared, right?
I actually hit up Jared Schwartz on Instagram, and he has not gotten back to me. That fucking
it's taken? That's why you're the kid Jared in the first place?
No. Jared Schwartz comedy is available. I'm just like, that's whack. The kid Jared is cool, but I think at 30, I'm going to have to change it. Can't be.
The kid Jared,
my favorite part is, though, whenever I tell people.
You got time, though. You're a young kid.
I'm 27.
Yeah, but you got 3 years.
When I tell people, I'm like, it's so funny this happens all the time. It doesn't matter. But I go, yeah, my name's the kid Jared on Instagram. And they're like, oh, that kid Jared? I'm like, no, I literally just told you the kid. But it's because it's like the whole thing of like, I'm with that kid right here.
Yeah, sometimes it is. That's why I just did my straight up, which could be bad for other situations, but I just did my straight up name from the beginning. But the kid Jared Schwartz on Instagram, he runs a Mama's Boy Comedy.
Every Friday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Friday at Gamma Lounge, 7:30. Hit me up, DM me for tickets. I'll set you up, help you out. If you're a homeless man on the street, and get you in that show. And yeah, man, I got a couple big projects in the works I'm very excited about. This is fun, man. Tom, let's go walk down to these roads.
Let's do it. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Peace.
That's great, bro.
Oh, you're a good kid.